So we're asked to solve this by completing the square. Right off the bat, I need to get this into standard form. So I need to get rid of this -3 by adding 3. These are like terms because they're both integers. So I have 5p squared plus 10p minus 40 equals 0. All right, so I'm going to label A is 5, B is 10, and C is -40. Now, in order to solve by completing the square, I need to get this in vertex form. So I'm going to have to solve for H by doing -b over 2a. Well, b was 10, so we're going to do -10 over 2 times a, which is 5, which gives me -10 over 10, which when I divide gives me -1. Now, this is my H, so now I'm going to have to plug that in to solve for K. So I'm going to have 5 times H, which was -1 squared, plus 10 times -1 minus 40, and this is going to help me solve for K. All right, so I've got a tool that I can use for this. I can use my calculator. I'm going to go ahead and use mental math. I know that -1 squared is a +1, so this is really 5 times 1, and then 10 times -1 is -10 minus 40. So 5 times 1 is 5. 5 minus 10 is -5 minus 40, which gives me, whoops, that should be 40. So -5 minus 40 gives me -45. So here is my K, here is my H, and so now I can plug in A, H, and K into vertex form. So that formula is on your formula sheet for the EOCT. Now, we remember that A was 5, so I'm going to plug in a 5 for A. So y equals x minus h. Now, h was a -1, so minus a -1 for h, we are going to write as plus a positive. That is squared plus k. Now, k was a -45, though, so instead of plus -45, we're just going to write minus 45. All right, so now we have it in standard form, and we need to solve using KASH. So the first thing we know is when we're solving that y has to be equal to 0. So this is really 0 equals 5 times x plus 1 squared minus 45. All right, so now that we have it ready for KASH, I'm going to scroll down, and that way we can redo this problem a little bit lower. We said that that was 0 equals 5 times x plus 1 squared minus 45. All right, first thing we need to do for KASH is we need to move the k, which is -45. So we're going to have to add 45 on both sides. So we have 45 equals 5 times x plus 1 squared. The next thing is the a. Notice we said a was 5. It's being multiplied by x plus 1 squared, so we're going to divide by 5 to undo it on both sides. All right, so 45 divided by 5 is 9, and we're left with x plus 1 squared. So now that s stands for that square root, so I'm going to square root both sides, which undoes the square, so those inverses cancel out. I'm left with x plus 1 here is equal to, now the square root gives us two answers. It gives us a positive and a -3. Last but not least is the h, which is plus 1 here. So to undo that, we're going to subtract 1 on both sides. So we know that x is going to give us two answers here, our two roots. We're going to have positive 3 minus 1 and -3 minus 1. Okay, so if we simplify that, x is equal to 3 minus 1 gives us 2, or -3 minus 1 gives us -4. And here are our two roots. We converted it to vertex form, -b over 2a, we plugged it in, and then we did KASH.